everyone, and welcome to ATP Live. Hi, I'm Dr. Bemisola Boyde, and today, Happy Independence Day, Nigeria. So it's our independence. Okay, I hope you can all see me now. Yeah, okay. All right, and today we're having a panel discussion, and I've got some other wonderful ladies with me in the studio. I've got Dr. Vera James. Vera, you are live on. How are you today? Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Dr. Bimsola.
Okay, and Vera is the director of our non-medical volunteers on Active Pediatricians Foundation, and I've also got with me Ifenyuwa Chuku, and she's our one of the leaders in the fundraising committee of Active Pediatricians Foundation. Welcome, Ifenyuwa.
Thank you, Dr. Vera. Good morning, everyone. Happy
Yeah,
Independence Day.
okay. Yeah. So
Happy
today we're going
Independence.
Yeah, today is our Independence Day, and we are not today's Independence Day, but today is our own celebration of the Independence Day. And today we are especially looking at Nigeria at 60, and we're looking at the health and welfare of Nigerian children as far as Nigeria is concerned. As you are all aware, or some of you may not be aware, but I'm going to introduce that Active Pediatricians Foundation is very committed to the health and the welfare of Nigerian children. And when we're talking about health and welfare of our children, we think that it is important that we discuss it today in a panel discussion. And of course, we welcome you to also be part of this conversation. Feel free to drop in your comments. And so those of you who are watching on Facebook, on YouTube, feel free to drop your questions and comments in the comment section. And if you're watching on Instagram as well, I welcome you. Feel free. You may not see my other panelists if you're watching on Instagram. But most likely you're going to be seeing only me. But feel free to also drop your comments and your questions. But before we go into what I'm just going to explain what today is all about. Nelson Mandela said something. He said that the way you know the true soul of a nation is how it treats its children. So Nigeria is 60, and happy Diamond Jubilee to Nigeria. And then the question we want to be asking ourselves is, are we truly a great nation? Is there anything worth celebrating? And how do we know? One of the yardstick we really know whether we should be celebrating or what our nation is like is how have we been treating our children? How is life with our children? And so we are very, very passionate about the health and the welfare of Nigerian children on Active Pediatricians Foundation. And that is why for the first time on the Independence Day Saturday, Active Pediatrician Foundation, we are actually at home. Normally, on a typical 1st of October or the Saturday following 1st of October, we are actually always on the field doing our outreaches because we usually do what we call our Independence Day community medical outreaches around these days. But unfortunately, because of the coronavirus, this year we're unable to go out to do our outreaches. So we are all here, but we decided to okay, let's have a program where even though we're not on the field, at least we can at least talk about the health, we can talk about the welfare of our children. So it is my pleasure to welcome you to this panel discussion. And like I said, this discussion is not about only us. We want you to be a part of that conversation. So we really love you to to be able to join us in this conversation. So we look forward to your comments, we look forward to your questions, and we look forward to you being part of this discussion. Thank you so much for joining us. I think we're already having some comments already. And so for my panelists, please, can you make sure there are no other things making noise around where you are, because it's going into the live stream. Thank you so much. Okay, so thank you to those of you who already joined us. Happy Independence Day for me. And we can see you. Obialo, thank you so much for joining us. Good morning. And we also have Tosin. Good morning. And thank you everyone for joining us. I also want to thank all those who are watching me on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining this conversation. Okay, so we're just going to go into the show. Today is really not about question about physical health of children, but because it is the spirit of Independence Day and that's what we do. If you still have questions, feel free to drop them. We will see try and see how much of them we can answer. All right. So I'm just going to be asking my friends in the house to tell me what has it been like for you in terms of Nigeria assisted? I mean, Vera, what would you say? Are you excited? Are you happy? What it is like for you?
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Bimisola Bede. Thank you, everyone. It's a pleasure being here today. Thank you, Dr. Bimisola, for this privilege and opportunity to share my thoughts. Okay, so for me, I would say I celebrated this year's independence with some form of mixed feelings, and it's been obvious that everybody knows that the average Nigerian child is not priority. So I'm going to be streamlining whatever I'll be saying based on children. If we care about the Nigerian child, then we will work out our health system. If we care about the Nigerian child, then we'll work out our education system. And these two systems that are directly attached to children are the systems that are suffering the most in Nigeria. So I had conversations with myself on Independence Day, asking I had to resort to, because I find that we have all been talking, and I'm grateful for Ask the Pediatricians, and I'm glad that when I had an introspection of myself that day, I was able to put a smile on my face that, okay, but Vera, you're not doing so badly. Of course, you need to improve on X, Y, Z, but in your little space, in your little corner. And that was what I tried to admonish people on my social media pages on that day, that every one of us in our little space, in our little corner, we need to find something doing right. We need to do something right for the Nigerian child, because these children are the future of today and tomorrow. In fact, they are the leaders of today and tomorrow. Our children influence us, and whatever expectations we have of them, if we are not able to put them in the right, in a facilitative environment, then we will just be. I want to try not to be so pessimistic today, but the truth is, it's been very worrisome. So I would say, like I said, I've had mixed feelings, and I'm trying my best to keep doing my own little best. I cannot be perfect. I do not expect any of us to be perfect, but it's important that we do our little best. And that's one of the reasons I'm grateful to Ask the Pediatricians Foundation. I can attest to the fact that in our own corner, we have been doing our best. I saw a post yesterday, a post of our first outreach, which was in 2016, October 1st. At Makoko. In fact, I cannot forget that day, because I would say that was my best Independence Day ever. From the day I was born, of course, from the day I began to have, I began to reason for myself, to 26th, the 2016 Independence Day was my best ever, because that was a day I had to give out all of myself. I left my children, and with the umbrella of Ask the Pediatricians, we could do what we did. It was amazing. So when Facebook reminded me yesterday, I said, wow. And I had to drop a message. I said, Ask the Pediatricians Foundation is an example of consistency. And for me, I just wish and pray that everyone finds something doing. And I'm glad we're doing this today. I believe at the end of this meeting today, we'll have a paradigm shift. Everybody will think about, so when, okay, let me not go into
All right, thank you very much, Vera. Before we continue, I can see that Dr. Wama has joined us, but Dr. Wama is joining me on Instagram. Wama, good morning. Dr. Wama, good morning. Can you hear us? Wama, good morning. Okay, I'm not so sure she can hear me because Dr. Wama, can you hear me? All right, I'm not sure. Wama, can you hear me? Oh, okay. I'm not so sure where it seemed like Dr. Woma. Dr. Woma, if you can hear us, can you please join us on the stream here? The link is in your Facebook Messenger. All right. So thank you so much, Vera. Thank you so much. And thank you so much to those who are joining the conversation. And for those who are just joining us, this is ATP Celebrating Nigeria at 60. We do this every year. And the way we normally would have done it, it's not to talk because we believe in action rather than talking. And what we normally do is to go and show that we really care by doing our Independence Day outreaches. And we've been doing that from the first one we did in October 2016 in Makoko. And since that day, we've gone to over 100 we've had over 100 outreaches, and we've done it in more than 35 locations all over the country. So we're really passionate about the Nigerian children. And one cause that I want to be resonating with all of us as we celebrate the independence today is the fact that the way you know a true nation is how they treat their children, is how they really treat their children. So any great nation cares about the welfare of their children. Any great nation takes care of their children very well. So if your country is not taking care, if we are as a country we are not taking care of our children, then we can we really say we're really great? And at 60, I think we are coming to the point where we say as a country we are now mature. And then, if we are mature enough, I mean, because when you are 60, you are supposed to be an elder. And if you are supposed to be an elder, we should really know what we're doing. And actually, today I would have loved Dr. Woman, who is one of our pediatricians, to tell us the state of our children in Nigeria. And but in spite of that, I can tell you that some of our health statistics of our children is still very, very concerning. You know, a lot of our children are still dying before the age of 5 years. And you will be surprised that even some of our children in Nigeria, they are dying worse than countries like Somalia, like Sudan, where they've had civil wars, where they've had lots of unrest. And so you wonder that how come children in Nigeria are still dying? And so a lot of our children are dying before the age of 1 year. A lot of our pregnant women are still dying. I mean, all of you are on social media, you see all this news all the time. And it's always very, very, very heartbreaking that why our children dying, you know, why our women dying. You know, most of us in Nigeria, pregnancy is still like a life and death issue. And, you know, in other places, if a child should die, you know, for unexplainable reason, then the government is going to launch an inquiry. So, like, why would this child die? They really want to know, because it is like a very strange thing, you know, for children to die when for unexplainable reasons. It's different if a child died from cancer or all those kind of things that we know the child may likely die. But when a child died from an unexplainable reason, the government launched an inquiry. But in Nigeria, a lot of our children are dying daily, and nobody seems to care. And that tells us what kind of a country are we. You know, if we say we're really truly the giants of Africa, if we really say we're truly the great country that we have, then we should really be concerned about the health of our children. And I don't want you guys to start thinking far and thinking, oh, it is the president, it is the senators, it is this, it is that. I really want you to start thinking about yourself as a Nigerian and about yourself as one of our, as a citizen in this country, what are you doing in your own capacity? Because we may not be able to change the president, we will not be able to tell the president or the senators what to do. But what are you as an individual doing to make sure that we treat our children right? So we're going to be talking about things that affect our children in terms of their health, and things that affect our children in terms of their of welfare. Now let's start with the welfare issue. The issue of child labor, the issue of child maltreatment. I was reading on social media this week, a woman, a woman poured hot water on a child. I think the child is a 6 or 7 year old child living with her. She poured hot water on that child just because it's not a child, just because the child, I don't know whether the child ate biscuits or ate something, a grown up woman. And now that woman is going to get up and say Nigeria is not good, the president is this, the politicians are that. What are you doing in your own little corner? If a child cannot stay with you safely, we had of people, using other children, that child, I think one child was broken leg and everything, maltreated, people chaining children down to beds and things like that. These are things that we are doing as individuals. This has nothing to do with the president. This has nothing to do with the senators. This has nothing to do with the politicians. So when we are talking about the welfare of our children, it is all of us. I want to see it that it is my responsibility. It is your responsibility. And the way we treat our children shows the kind of a country that we have. If a child cannot be saved, yesterday, I think one of the the founder of Stop the Abuse, she shared a story of how an 11-year-old child was gang raped to death in this Lagos, in Nigeria. 11-year-old girl. Mom sent the girl to buy something, and some troubled, crazy men took this 11-year-old child, about 4 of them, gang raped her to death. These are things that we hear. These are things that broke our heart. The other day, we saw, that was a few years ago, even still on ATP, we saw a picture of a child, of children who are supposed to be in the classroom, but they were lying on the bare floor.
Yeah.
Not even like cemented floor, like soil, raw soil floor. And they were lying on it. And that couple posted that picture on social media. And you will think that the government of Nigeria will be ashamed and want to try to do something about it. No, what did they do? They victimized the couple. They were like, they are going to make sure that couple fail. Why did you post that kind of a picture on social media? Nobody is asking the question, why are these children lying on the bare floor? Why are these children not in a classroom? And I remember as ATP, which is one of the things I want us to stress, which is one of the things I think we need to learn from it. We are trying to learn, which is what we're trying to discuss this morning. It is not about saying, pointing fingers and saying it is this person that should do it, it is that person that should do it. The question is, what can you as an individual do about it? What can you do? And I remember we went ordinary, we just initially got maybe about 3, 5, and we bought ordinary mats, and we put it on the floor, and we put in like a kind of a something to kind of cover the place. I mean, shield away the sun, the weather elements from the children. Those children enter into that place. If you see their reaction,
Excitement.
they were like they were like in heaven. I'm telling you. And I was like, what? These children don't even know better. They don't even know that they deserve better. Ordinary maths, they were so excited that they don't have to lie on the platform. And just a few weeks ago, a reporter, Vera, was telling me somebody was coming to ask us about that mansion, and that is not where we stopped. For those of you who are interested, I'm sure you can read it, check it out online. We went there, we renovated those classrooms, we bought the chairs. Those children, the day we went to do that project, to commission it, the whole village came to welcome us. They couldn't believe that some people who care enough about people they don't know. It's a different part of the country than from where ATP was even at the time. And we went all the way from Lagos to Kwara. and we did that outreach. We treated the children. We renovated the classroom. We made a difference for them. You never know whether the next president of Nigeria is going to come among those children.
Yes.
So this is what we're talking about. So today, even as we celebrate independence, I want us to begin to look away from what is a president going to do. What is a politician? That state as a politician, as at the time we went there, the Senate president of Nigeria was from that state. And
Absolutely.
that in that state, we have to come down practically from our bus to walk into that village, because the vehicle there's only one plank of wood
Yes, we have to use our foot.
separating the whole of that community from the rest of the world. I'm telling you the absolute truth. And
yeah,
yes,
we have the pictures on our page, our Facebook group.
On our Facebook page, on our website, and everything. Yeah.
I saw you crossing the bridge.
Now, even since tomorrow, those people in that village, they still send us letters to say thank you for what you do. What I'm trying to say is that all of us, and how much did we spend? This is not up to what some people spend on all these parties that they do over the
travel ticket. Travel ticket, just a first class ticket to the United Kingdom.
Yeah,
exactly the point. So what I'm trying to say is that we are not here to talk about what our nation should do for us. We are here to talk about what should be doing. Exactly. Wama, thank you so much for joining me now. You can see, you can hear me. Thank you for at least now we have okay. We have you on Instagram, and I have Vera and Ifeyiwa on Facebook. So we are here to talk about how we, and everything is not about money. Those of you who are maltreating children in your houses, yeah, it is not about money. Just treat a child nice. You don't have to be the biological mother or the biological father of that child. So today we're going to talk about the health and the welfare of our children, and the single message we are passing across as ATP to all of you who are listening or who are still going to listen to us is that we all can do right by our children. And it is not a politician question. It is every Nigerian question. As we celebrate independence, think of how you can make Nigeria better. And one of the way you can make Nigeria better, because like I quoted Nancy Mandela before, the way you know a true country is how you treat their children, how they treat the weakest people in their country. So any nation who are not treating children right, who are not treating children well, who are not treating the weak people in that country well, we are not great. Forget all the big lies we're telling ourselves. If our children are still having the highest mortality in the world, if our children are still dying and the government is not even caring. I just told you, in other countries, when a child dies, they launch a national inquiry, like why should a child die from unexpected reasons? So if we are still in that place where we are comfortable with children dying and it is no big deal to us, then we're not yet a great nation. And to become a great nation,
there's even no statistics to tell.
It is not the President Buhari's job. It is my job. It is your job. And that is what ACP is after. We are after as advocates for our children. And that's what we're going to be talking about. So I really talk a lot because I want to set the tone for this conversation. Because I don't want you to come and write in the comments and lambast your president or the governor or the senate. No. I want you to tell me what you have done and tell me how you can encourage others to do the same. That is what we're going to talk about. Do you want to tell us what are the statistics? Yes, tell us what are the statistics of our children, because sometimes when we talk, people don't know how bad it is. Sorry, before I let you talk, when we went to Manchester, people think, I remember putting that post up and somebody said, no, this is not true. You are just trying to make the governor or the whoever.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, I remember. Okay. I think Dr. Wemishola's network.
She's frozen.
Okay, so while we wait for her to come back on the show. Okay, it's like she's still talking on Instagram. So it might just be our own network. Let me just be sure. Okay, So let's just continue. I'll wait for Dr. Bimsola to join us. Dr. Wama, okay. Dr. Wama, can you hear us? Okay, so let's just continue. I was going to say something while Dr. Demi was saying was talking the other time. I went somewhere, if anyone, I got to a kiosk or a shop somewhere, and I saw a child, maybe about 12 years or 10 years, as maybe 12 years, excuse me, maybe JSS1, JSS2 child.
Okay.
And then I said, Madam, no, I was asking the child, why are you not in school? And before the child could reply me, the mother or the owner of the store turned to me and said, excuse me, don't ask her that kind of question. She's my servant.
Wow.
So when I heard the word servant, hi, oh yes, thank you. She said, before we blame Nigeria, we should ask ourselves what impact I have made. Yes, I like us to show that's one. Before we blame Nigeria, we should ask ourselves this question: what impact have I made? Because it's our responsibility. Well done, Dr. Wimisola. Yes, thank you so much, Abimbola, for that. So this lady, she went as far as saying, she said, no, leave her alone, don't ask her any questions, she's my servant. And I looked at her, I said, servant?
And she does not deserve to be in school.
It was so embarrassing. It was so embarrassing. I said, servant? And when I looked at her, God forgive me, she even looked more servant, whatever, than the person she was calling. I couldn't buy anything from her that day. I was so upset. I had to go back the other day. The next day, I told my friend, let's go back there. And I told her, I said, Madam, what you said yesterday was totally unacceptable. I'm going to take this up. I didn't see her again. But, it was so sad. And for me, I just began to tell everybody that needed to hear me. And I like the fact that Dr. Bimitola always says it on Ask the Pediatrician. If you have a child who is living with you under 18, as whatever you call her, whether nanny, house help, or whatever, and she's not going to school, she's there to serve your family, in quote, servants, then you are wrong. People like that, we should call them out, because that is where that's one of the issues that we have. Yes. Child labor was something she was talking about, and it's something that we must address as human beings. We must ensure that the children we have in our homes are they're in school. So if you really want a nanny, then go to a proper domestic staff company and get a nanny that is sure and ready she wants to be a nanny. Yes, not a child who is disadvantaged. Because if you have a child who is disadvantaged in your house and you claim that, okay, I can give her 3 square meals and she's working, she's helping my family, you are still part of the people we're talking about when it comes to child labor. So let's note this. It's important we look at that. All right.
I think we just need to do more. We as individuals now, not just because thank God for social media, today we see a lot of things. If not for social media, we'll not see all this.
Yes,
we'll not know.
Yes, that's
will
the
be
truth.
Happening. This is just what you
is back. Thank God.
Okay. But we see a lot of issues about child labor on social media.
Welcome back. You see that this attitude dates back. Am I clear?
Yes. Can you hear Dr. Nwama?
Okay, we can hear her now. Yeah, we're trying to hear. We couldn't hear.
So sorry for we have some technical breakdown, but myself and Nwama were on Instagram. But I just came back to Facebook. Just continue with. Let's hear Dr. Nwama.
I think she should take it again.
Yes, for the sake of people on Facebook, can you just please take those statistics all over again so that they can hear you?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So I was saying that the infant mortality rate currently we have 9.18 deaths.
I'll be trying to put it on the banner as well. Continue.
Okay. Per 1,000 live births, 59.18 deaths per 1,000 live births, and that is a decline. Yes, that's a decline of 2.4% from the previous year. Okay.
So 59.1. Sorry, Mama, those figures, some people don't understand what 59.1 means. Can you just put it in a you say like 100 children, doesn't mean 59 are going to give us that kind of thing people can easily
give us the percentages. All right.
Relate to it.
Yes.
Okay, so what it means is that
go on. Oh my goodness, I lost Mama again. Oh Lord.
Oh, can
Okay,
she
I'm sure
just
she will
join us
come.
live here? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe woman should try and join us on the Facebook, and so that we are all together in the same home. I
Studio,
guess it'll be
yes.
easier in the same studio. But thank you so much. Okay, while we're waiting for woman to join us, I think we should just take a little bit of some of the comments we've had. Um, yeah, why do you want to read those for us?
Okay, we've taken that already.
Yeah, we've taken that one.
Oh, you've taken that already. Okay, great.
Yeah. Okay, Motola Bukola
Okay,
said,
Matata is just ruminating over
a
that.
great
Great.
country is one that treats children well and right. Dr. Gbemisola Boyede. Yeah,
Okay.
just like
Actually,
she said,
I
it's
don't know whether
true.
that is really true to me or whether you should put it to Dr. Mandela. Okay, so let's just continue.
Okay, Mimi Enyamba. Personally, I would lay the blame on parents who have kids without making adequate plans for them. Irresponsible sexual behavior and the aversion to family planning are part of these problems. That's a good
Absolutely.
one. Yeah, we need to take responsibility.
You
Okay,
know that
thank you
these
so
are one
much,
of the things that
Amy.
we do on ATP where we go for our outreaches, our children's health outreaches. We find one family or one mother of maybe about 28 years old having 5, 6 children already. So I understand where Mimi is coming from. I'm sure Mimi just remembered one of the episodes that we had, and we began to teach on family planning. It's something that we must work around.
Okay, we seem like because we have some technical issues, some people have left. So please feel free to come back. And can our moderators please help us from the watch party? Because I have a feeling some people may be watching on the watch party. Can you please try and help us, import the questions down to the live stream. And Dr. Woma, we're still waiting for you to come back because I think that's your conversation. All those statistics are so important, and we really need to have that conversation today. Okay, so we are still going to continue this conversation. So the question now is, how can we what can we do? We've talked about the challenges and all that, and the question is, I want you to let us look away from the horrible statistics, even though we still need to know about them. But what can we do as individuals to make it better? What can we do as individuals? So we're going to talk a little bit about what we do on HCP and how you can also key into that. But we're also looking
Yes.
forward to you telling us what you also can do, as to make life better. But to be honest, all our children are not on the same page. Some of us, our children are going to private schools. Some of us, our children are going to
She's frozen again.
Our internet seems not friendly today at all, but it's all right. So Dr. Bimisola was saying that she was asking a very question. For those of us who are watching us live, please let's share. What have you been doing from your own corner? What do you think you can do from your own corner? Because the truth is, if every one of us decides to do the right thing, before we know it,
Yeah.
rightness will become a culture in Nigeria. That's what we are trying to build, such that everybody is trying to do his or her own right by the children that you have around you. So, what are the things that you think that you can do? What are the things you have been doing? Please let's hear from you. Share your thoughts with us, and as we progress. Moderators, please move questions or move comments from the watch party, so we can take it up from there. All right. So what are you doing? What can you do? We're saying something about ask the pediatricians. One of the things that we do basically is speaking from Mimi's comments. Mimi raised something really tangible. She talked about irresponsible sexual behavior of parents, and that's the truth. Or the aversion to family
Family
planning.
planning.
We've been at outreaches, and some women will come to us and tell us, I cannot do it. And the only reason they have for not being able to do family planning is not financial. It is, my
No.
husband said I should not do it. and your
Or
husband
they
said you
heard
should
one
not do it,
story,
and then you come to the,
one mate like
all
that,
of them, they will come
family planning
for,
does this or does that, and they will just take it up like that.
thank you. Somebody has given them one story like that, and
Yes.
So I was asking one of the women. I said, "You brought 5 children. Where's your husband?" I mean, she brought 6 children. I said, "Where is your husband?" She said, "My husband is at home." And I had to just, I didn't want to cause any problem. I needed to just liberate her somehow.
Hmm.
If your husband has said, don't do it, so are you going to be giving birth to children every year? So you will give birth to 10 children. How are you able? All of the children were not on slippers except for her. I said, "Madam, you are not nice. So you have a pair of slippers on, and your children, you're dragging them with birth. They will
Definitely.
lost it. They will lost it." I had to explain to her how she was
Hmm.
the architect of our children's or our own life first, and then our children's life. And then she began to say, I said, "So please, when we come next time," because that was when we're having our clinics where we're going every month for
Okay.
6 months in different locations. So I said, "When we come next month, tell your husband that he should come with you. We want to see him, so that we can also talk to him." Because
Yeah.
it is the woman who will bring the 6 children or the 7 children for free medical outreaches, and the man will sit at home. And you're telling us again that same man is saying you should not do family planning. So we need to, and I saw a comment somewhere, somebody talking about the girl child. I wish I can see that comment again. Okay, somebody is saying, we have a comment from James Idenyi. It says it
Yeah.
is terrible and should be happening. Okay, I guess
I
it
think
means it
that's
should
it.
not be
Should
happening
not.
in our
Yeah.
present day Nigeria, where old men hold ways to power and feed the children with the lies of leaders of tomorrow. Where are the foundation of the tomorrow? Okay, I think if I can get what he's saying, it means okay. He has given the gang rape should not happen in our present day. Of course, yes, that's the truth. Gang rape, lies, and all of those things shouldn't happen in our present day. But unfortunately, that's what we see now. But what are we
Yeah.
going to
It's
do? The
happening.
question before us today, Dr. Wimsola has said something today, and I want us to begin to think about it. The question before us today, the question we're bringing to you from Ask the Pediatricians Foundation today is, what are you doing about it? We understand that our politicians have done X, Y, Z. We understand that things are not, we understand everybody is not right except us. So, but today we want us to say, leave everybody out of the equation and let's begin to talk to ourselves. What is it that you are doing correctly? What is it that you're not doing well? So that we will begin to make up our minds and begin to at least put little effort. I call those efforts baby steps. Somebody says little drops of water make a mighty ocean. That's the truth. As we begin to make our baby steps, we'll get to the point where being right will become a culture for us as individuals. So please, we want to see your comments, we want to hear you. What are you doing from your space? This is not like we want you to come and blow your trumpet, but it's okay if you have a trumpet to blow. Share with us. What are you doing so you can inspire someone else? Someone watching this video needs to be inspired to do more. What are you doing, and what do you think you can do? How do you want to contribute your own quota to the Nigerian child? So, if anyone, do you want to share something about that as we wait for
Yeah.
other comments? Yeah.
You said something, and I just remembered, sometimes um, either a married woman or a married man enables his or her spouse to do these things. Like I went to a hospital one time to see my aunt who was on admission. And immediately I walked in, I noticed a kind of drama going on. So a woman came to the hospital to give birth, and she gave birth to twins, and the husband ran away. He didn't want to
Poverty.
pay hospital bills. So when they finally got to his home and arrested the man and brought him to the hospital, this woman that the man left with kids to go into hiding, she was the one falling on the floor, begging the hospital officials to please leave her husband alone, to leave her husband for her. You see? Meanwhile, this man left her to suffer with the children. He knew that somehow she will find a way and
Yes,
pay
yes.
hospital bills and come back. He's not ready to be a parent. Meanwhile, it just goes down to what Mimi said. This man is not ready to be parent to those children, but
So I think one advice you're trying to give to
he will
parents now
not do
is
this.
be intentional with parenting. Be
Yes,
sure that
and
you
they
want to
should be
be a
sure of what
parent
they
before you
want
become a
before you.
parent.
Yeah, let us be responsible.
Fantastic. Okay, so what else? What else are you doing? What else are you doing as a Nigerian to help? Okay, Dr. Bimitola is back. Oh, fantastic.
I'm so sorry, but just continue how I just
Okay, okay,
interrupted.
okay. So the question is, what are you doing? What are you doing? Those of us, we have about 27 people live. Okay, it's dropping. I guess the network is really affecting. So for those of us watching, what are you doing? What are you doing to help? What are you doing? James, okay, James, I like what you're saying, but James, I really want to hear from you. James, you're listening to me. Please share with us what do you think you can do? What do you think you can do from your own space, or what have you been doing? Because today, Dr. Bimsala is saying we have all blamed the government enough. We are not excusing the government right now, but we are saying on today's Ask the Pediatrician's live show, we want to take personal responsibility for the outcomes of our children's welfare and health. That's what we are doing. Personal response. So if you're a married person here, begin to make up your mind to say, I will only give birth to children that I can take care of. If you are a married, if you need support for your family, then you go to a registered organization and get an adult to take care of your children. So if let us just be doing the right things by our children. I remember I talked about a woman who said an 11-year-old was a servant. I mean, we shouldn't be found doing such things or having such conversations. No child less than 18 should be in your house doing anything for you. And don't claim that I buy clothes, I give them food. That's not what we're talking about. If that person is not your child, and then you keep the child at home or in your shop selling for you, I mean, let's improve on that. All right. Mimi
Thank you.
says, okay, let me just Mimi Ember is saying, if care is not taken in Nigeria, the girl child might soon become an endangered species. You're not wrong. it's
I
it's
think the
it's
child is
unfortunate.
already an endangered species. So, so I don't know whether we can get Dr. Woma to join us on stream here because she has all the statistics, and then it would be nice for us to talk about the statistics because some of us don't
I have been
realize
speaking. I
how.
have been sending her messages. I wonder why.
Okay, I don't know. Okay, let's put you on mute, then you can give her a ring. Okay.
I'll do
All
that.
right. So we're still talking about what we can do to safeguard our children. This is something we don't talk a lot about, but it is our responsibility. It is not only the government's responsibility. And we are going to talk about what we can do. What we do on ACP is that we try to reach out to these children, and our desire is that no child should die from from deaths that can be prevented. That is our goal. That's what we do on ATP. We don't want any child dying from things that we can prevent, that should not kill the children. And we do it by making sure that you as parents and all of us are part of this conversation, like we are all together in this conversation. And so we do it online through our Facebook group. You can ask your health questions. So that's what we do. And we also do it offline by doing our community medical outreaches. And like I said, this is the first October that we are all sitting at home and unable to go out because of the
God help us.
coronavirus. Yeah, but we really do this, and we've done over 100 outreaches. We are just a 5-year-old organization, but we've reached over 50,000 children. And I'm just imagining that if we have more capacity, we can do more. And there are
Yes.
many ways you can be part of this. If you are thinking, oh, I really want to be part of it, but I don't know how. So I'm just going to tell you ways by which you can be part of this. Number one, you can volunteer. It doesn't take you anything to volunteer. You can volunteer to help a child, and you don't have to do it so that people will see what you're doing. So it's just about doing it for the benefit of the children. And so you can be our moderator, you can be a volunteer, you can go with us to the outreaches. You sometimes when people go to the outreaches, then they really understand, because you have been to the field. This is not just what they say, this is not just what you read, this is what you've seen, this is what you've experienced. You see children rummaging through dustbin, you see children, just because of the meal we're going to give them, the way they want to run over themselves. So these are things we do. And remember, if you cannot go to the field, if you cannot volunteer, you can use your own resources to help
Yes.
do that. And I think I will allow Ife Iwa to talk more about how easy it is. You will not believe how much or how small you can give to make a difference in the life of a child in Nigeria. So, Ife is part of our fundraising team, and I just wanted to talk to you about. You never know that a bottle of Coke that you drink, if you deny yourself and make yourself healthy, if in one way, you can actually use that money to save and impact a life of a child, of a Nigerian child. So over to you, Fenua.
Yeah, yes. Thank you, Dr. Gwemisola. Um, Recently, we launched a campaign, um, Operation Give Us 100 naira a month, and we've been on it for like 2 months now. Some of our members here have really come on board. They've given, but some of us may still be thinking that, okay, what do they need this money for? Everything we do on ATP is free. We'll give our time, effort, resources, we'll give for free. And these things cost money. We all live in Nigeria, we know what it is. And for us to even be here talking to you today, it's money. If we don't pay for this, we will not be online talking with you. So everything we put out there is money. Recently, I was telling somebody about ATP, and I was like, "See this poster, please. I need 1,200 naira from you." And if she sees this, she will laugh because I know she'll be watching. She'll like, "What do we need the money for? Me give ATP money? Is it not just to be on Facebook and post questions?" And I was like, "Wow. Are you sure it's just that?" And I know that we do offline, we do this and we do that. There's so much we do. I had to tell her a lot of the things we do. And at the end of the day, she was like, "Wow, really?" That she just thought it was just like just a Facebook group. And she donated. So no matter how small it is, if you don't have one to, you have 100 naira. If we all say, okay, we don't have, okay, let the people that have give. We cannot achieve anything in our comfort zone. We just have to. If you give 100 naira to ATP and maybe 10 other people give 100 naira, maybe when we want to do outreach per child, we're going to spend like 5,000. If we have 10 people or 20 people giving 100 naira, we have achieved one thing. We have impacted the life of a child. Okay, I don't have, this person will do or the other person will do, then we will not go nowhere. If we love the Nigerian child, let us do the little we can do in our own
Mm,
corner. If I do and you do and the other person does, then we will achieve something. But if we all relax
mm,
and say it does not concern me, after all, Buhari should just, in fact, bring out the money for he should be just dashing all these people that brought out their time, money to do outreach, then we will remain as we are. And at the end of the day, all these things will still come back to us, the masses. We are the ones affected. If you don't train, don't give a child the best today, then okay, Independence Day, we all lament. Like I saw a lot of sorry about that. I saw a lot of posters, making mockery of Nigeria. In fact, one really got to me. There's this woman, a man was sitting at a refuse dump, and the woman, it was like a wedding going on there. I don't know what they wanted to showcase. And the woman was wearing the Nigerian flag. And I was like, wow, we know we are not where we are supposed to be, but who are we blaming? If this man had gone to the refuse dump, to clean up that place. It will not be like that. Instead of we waiting for the government, because I really did not know the message they wanted to pass across. So we all have to, all hands have to be on deck if we want to achieve anything. Anything we want to achieve. Now, the citizens have to come up and do things. Like doctor talked about the bridge. If the residents of that area all came out, they would have been able to construct a bridge, no matter how it is, before the government can even come out to help. If she didn't go there, maybe those people will not have a bridge up till now. Maybe those children will still be lying on the floor. Maybe they would have lost a lot of children in that community. So this is what ATP does, changing lives, impacting on people. But we cannot do this if we don't have funding. So if you're in your little corner and you see ATP and we come out every month to say, please give us 100 naira. Please give us that 100 naira. We need it to effect change. We are not just asking for us. We need it for the Nigerian child.
Thank you, Fenyua. That's very, very passionate appeal. So I really appreciate that. Let's go back to the comment. I think we have lots more comment from our viewers.
Yes.
Okay. Vera, you want to read that for us?
Okay, so Tony Raphael is saying, I think there are some decisions women need to make on their own. True. For example, the family planning, if you've discussed with him before and his response wasn't good enough, then I advise the woman to use her discretion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tony. Just to respond to that, is that this is when we're talking about the solution to a problem that's been ongoing for so long and has so many layers. There's no one answer to everything. In other words,
Right.
we can't just say, okay, it's only the woman we want to blame and all that. I agree with it totally that women should not be having children. And if you know us on ATP, even when we go to the field, we do a lot of health education, we do a lot of reproductive health talks and encourage the teenagers not to do more things with their hands and to be more so that they don't start getting pregnant and having children early. And we talk about the married women as well. We teach them about family planning. So all of it has to work together, because if we just do family planning, it doesn't solve all our problems.
Right.
Some people are still poor. Some people still don't have food. So there are so many issues. And that is why, even though ATP is primarily an health group, when we do our outreaches, we feed the children. We have to consider their welfare as well, because if the child doesn't have food, that may even be the reason why the child is malnourished. That may be the reason why the child is sick. So just going there and giving the child chloroquine or malaria drugs does not solve the child's problem, because the child is still going to be hungry. And this is what we really need to do. We don't just want it to be, we take one aspect, we have to do everything all together. So it is our collective responsibility. I think the message we are passing across is the fact that this problem, it is all our problem. And if there's one thing I want Nigerians to take away from us today, is the fact that don't see it as the politicians' problem, don't see it as the leadership problem. It is all our problem, and we all got something to do. And I know that it's very easy to be overwhelmed by the problems, and you feel like, I don't think what I'm doing is making a difference. Yes, it's very easy to get into that situation. But if you think, the way I live my own principle is that I'm not interested in making a difference for the 200 million Nigerians. I'm not interested in that, because I know I can't. I'm just one person. But if you make a difference for one person, if you make a difference for just one child, for that child or that mother or that person, it is 100%, because you've made a whole lot of difference. And so when we're talking about you giving and all that, don't think, oh, this my 1,200 is so small. What can it do? It can make a difference for one child. And you can imagine, if you make a difference for one child, I make a difference for one child, before you know it, we are going to create that ripple effect. A lot of children who are being touched. And everything is also not about money. So that's why we talk about the fact that the way you treat children, the way you care for children, you don't need money to be nice. You don't need money to be kind. You don't need money to treat a child who is giving your house rights. We want, and it breaks my heart that women, especially let me go personal today and talk to us women. It breaks my heart that women, we are the one maltreating our children. The men also have their own part, because those who are raping the children, they are men. And but women are the one pouring hot water. Women are the ones slashing children's body, and why are we doing that? And it's not a culture thing. It's not like it's every culture knows that you need to be nice, you need to be kind. It's not our culture to treat children badly. So it is individuals, and we all have got the responsibility to make sure that we treat our children right. Remember the way we started from is that the way we treat our children, it shows the kind of people we are, shows the kind of a country we are. If we are not treating our children right, then you have no right to blame any politician, because you are also part of our problem, because you are also part of the reason why our nation is not great. Those of you who are abusing children, and those are the people I'm referring to. But today is not about laying blame. Today is about encouraging all of us to make that positive change and to make sure that we treat our children right. Yes. Well, I think you want to read what Fumi is saying.
Yes. Olufumi Mariano is saying, I personally think we need the old-time mindset where every child belongs to the community and trained by the community. I personally think it's our responsibility in preventing needless child health.
Thank you, Fumi. I think you're absolutely correct. I think you're absolutely correct.
And so we must all channel our expertise in achieving that. True.
Thank you so much, Rumi, and thank you, Abubakar, for joining us. I know we had a lot of technical issues. That is life. That is the life we live on, technology, but we have to move on. Despite that, we have to move on, and it is all our joint responsibility to do that. I don't know. We don't seem to have questions today, but I think we are passing the message across. Vera, I don't know what message you see have. Unfortunately, we are unable to get Dr. Nwoma to join us. I really would have loved her today. Maybe we'll bring her another time to just have this conversation, and maybe we can actually even have it maybe any day that is okay. We just talk about these statistics and what it means for us, and how we can all make a change, and how we can all make a difference.
Right. Okay, so if you're watching this video, like we have been saying, it's a case of we are moving from what will Nigeria do for us? We're looking to what can we do for Nigeria. Okay, so if you're watching this video, you need to begin to make up your mind as to how you can better the people around you, how you can give back to a country, to the children around you. So there are different ways you want to do that. If, for example, some people watching this live stream, they already have their own foundation. Please keep doing what you're doing, but remember sincerity of purpose. I mean, we cannot overemphasize that. It's important. I'm a Christian, and the Bible says that I cannot do all of these things, and at the end of the day, I will become a castaway. Amazing! She's here now.
We got Dr. Nwoma finally.
Okay, let me quickly round up my thoughts before Dr. Nwoma comes on. So we cannot enjoy all the life and do everything, and then at the end of the day, you're preaching to people, you're doing all kind of good works, and at the end of the day, you become a castaway. The reason you become a castaway is if you're doing it without the right intentions or the right motive. So I want to encourage everyone on this live stream watching us, or those who will watch the replay, please do something. If you run a foundation, do it properly and do it right. Now, if you're one person who has said, oh, my money is for myself, I mean, that's not the way to go. We need to begin to give more. Life is beyond keeping wealth for yourself and the generations unborn. Life is more, we need to learn to give and keep giving. I mean, you can never overgive. So my suggestion for you today would be, please, if you like what we're doing, you can go on our website, you can go on our Facebook group, look through our work, check out our magazines. If you like what we're doing as a foundation, as the Pediatricians Foundation, you can join us. Like my colleague already told you, Mrs. Ifeanyi says, as little as 100 naira goes a long way. So if you're going to be giving us 100 naira, 500 naira, 1,000 naira, 10,000 naira every month, you can even do a standing order or something. I mean, I will say this, and this is not because I'm on the admin of ATP. I would say this with all, if you ask every volunteer, every true volunteer of Ask a Pediatrician, every leader on Ask the Pediatrician, you would see, and if you really look at us closely, if you know us closely, you would see that we live an amazing life. Amazing in the sense that things just work for us. And I believe that it is God blessing the works of our hands. It's God blessing our good deeds. So if you want to key in with us, we'll share with you before the end of this show how to do that. I just thought I should bring that in. Gratefully, Dr. Walma is here. So, Dr. Walma, please, we need to hear from you. We need to hear the statistics, what's happening in Nigeria.
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm happy to be back.
Welcome back.
Okay. So, am I clear?
Yes, we can hear you.
Am I
Yes,
clear?
absolutely, yes.
You can hear
Yes,
me?
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes, we can.
Okay, yes. So the figures I gave were rates 59.18 deaths per 1,000 live births, and that translates to absolute figures of one child out of every 13 dying before they reach their first birthday. So if you have 13 children who are less than one, okay, you have one that.
Dr. Walma, we're losing you.
We can't hear you.
Okay, but she just said something very significant. She says, out of every 13 children, babies born, one will die before the age of 1. That's really pathetic. I mean, this is something that we need to hear. Dr. Walma. Dr. Bemi, you need to unmute. You're talking, but we can't hear you because you're...
Wama, you are muted. Can you please unmute your mic?
Okay.
Can you unmute your mic? We can't hear you. And I can't do it here because you have to do it by yourself. Your mic is not connected. Oh my, we really have so much technical. It's fine. I know it's been a while we did ATP live, so our technical issues are quite a little bit today, but no problem. Unfortunately, we can't hear Wama because she's muted and we can't unmute her. Okay, let me try and take her off and add her again. Maybe that will help. Wama, can you unmute? Okay, Vera, I think you should try and reach Wama. Okay. It's really quite a busy morning, and I think once again we want to celebrate Nigeria. I know many of you will say maybe you are not happy or you're not ready to celebrate, but we think we chose to celebrate Nigeria, and that's why we're all wearing green Ankara, green and white Ankara today. It's our way of celebrating Nigeria at 60. Yes, every country which is great today have gone through their own period where they really things were so bad, but eventually they got it right. So we have not lost hope yet in Nigeria. Nigeria is a great country, but I think we can be greater by how we respond to and how we treat our children. And so it is your responsibility. It is my responsibility. That's it. That's the message we are passing across as we are rounding up. And I remember that if not because of coronavirus, we would have been on the field and we would have been there showing you how we appreciate Nigeria and how we want to make a difference to our country. So today, go away from this broadcast not thinking of what can Nigeria do for me. Ask yourself, what can I do for Nigeria? How can I make Nigeria great? And in the word of the great man of blessed memory now, Nelson Mandela, treat the children right, because that is one of the yardstick of knowing which country is great is how we treat our children. And we invite you to be part of treating children right. And one of the things we are focused on ATP is that no child should die from what can be prevented. And no child should die from that. And that is why we want we that's our mission statement, and that's what is under what we do. We do it online. I know you see us online, but most of you don't see us offline. But we actually have state chapters in all the states of Nigeria, and because but we were trying to follow the government measures on social distancing and all that. That's why we didn't go for public outreaches, because usually our outreaches are huge. We have over 1,000 children, 1,500 children, not counting the parents and all that. So there's no way we are going to use to maintain social distancing during such programs. And that is why this year we're not doing outreaches. But by the grace of God, May next year we will be housed. May 2021 will be housed on the
Amen.
field doing our outreaches. And that is our own part. We are not funded by any political organization or anybody. We are just a group of ordinary Nigerians like you, but trying to make Nigeria great by making a difference in the life of our children. And you can also be part of that. You don't have to join ATV to do that, but just make up your mind in whatever place you are that you are going to make a difference in the life of a child. Make a difference in the life of adults as well. But remember that the children, the weakest people, people that can't do things for themselves, the way we treat them actually shows. Some of us, we do things for people who already have things because we want to show up, because we're calling their favors. That is not what we should be doing. We don't have to buy a politician a car because they already have cars.
Loads of
just
cars.
to want their favor. But why not look for a child who cannot afford a meal? Why not look for a child who cannot afford a scholarship? Apart from what we do, we also sponsor children in orphanages. We pay their school fees. It's part of what we do. We don't need to broadcast that. We don't need to show a video to do that. But we are only doing this today because we want to encourage you to do the same. We want to encourage you to also make a difference. Whether you're doing it individually, through another organization, or you want to do it through HCP, you are welcome to do that. But the most important thing is, by the time Nigeria is 61, ask yourself, what have I done to make my country better? What have I done to make this nation greater? How have I treated a child? Whether it's a child in your care, whether it's your own child, whether it's a child you know, how have you treated the child? Before you maltreat any child, think about it. Don't complain about Nigeria not being great if you are not treating children right, because you are part of why our country is not great. But if you do your own cost, you can imagine if 150 million or even 100 millions of Nigerians have this mindset that I'm going to do one thing to make this country better, it will become a ripple effect and our country will become great. And we don't need to say that we are great. People will see that greatness and people will come to the light of our greatness. So I'm just want to encourage you. And if you think, oh, I don't have the time, I'm busy, you can spend your money. And like if anyone told you, 100 naira 100 naira is what you spend, most of you spend to buy a snack or a bottle of a drink, and you don't even think about it. But that 100 naira can go a long way and make a difference there for children. And in next year, we're looking forward to reaching at least 100,000 children. So you can imagine that if you give 100 naira and everybody is giving 100 naira, before you know, if we have 1,000 people give us actually 100 naira, then we're going to have 100,000 naira. And if we have maybe 10,000 children, we will be able to reach these children with else information, with education and everything that they need. So feel free to join us. Feel free if you want to know more how to be part of it. Feel free to ask us, and I think I'll allow my colleagues to just tell you. If anyone can also tell us how you can be part of that our fundraising drive. Remember, everything we collect, we are going to account for it. We are very passionate about accountability, and everything does not pay anybody's salary or anything. Everything raised on ATP, 100% goes into the program, the welfare, the outreaches that we do for our children. So you can be sure that investing in it, you are really touching lives, and we'll show you those children that you have touched live and direct. Okay, I think Dr. Woma is back.
Yeah.
Dr. Woma, can you hear us now? Dr. Woma. before we round off, our time is going. But
Yes.
Hello, ma. Good afternoon, ma. I can hear you very clearly. Can you hear me?
we can
I
hear
can hear you
you.
very clearly.
So can you quickly give us your
I can
presentation
hear
in
you
5
very
minutes?
clearly.
I plead
Yes,
indulgence of
ma.
all those who are watching us. It is our anniversary. It is a Nigerian celebration. Please bear with
Okay,
us.
ma.
We are very sorry for all the inconveniences, but I
Yes,
think,
ma. Can you hear me now?
yes. So please
Am
just bear
I
with us.
clear?
Someone might share with us. Go on, Dr. Wama. We can hear you.
Hello, am I clear?
Yes, you
Yes,
are.
you are.
Yes.
Okay, you can hear me clearly. Okay, I was saying that the infant I, I was saying that the absolute values, in absolute values, that one child out of 13 will die before their first.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness, what is happening with the Thomas internet today? I think the connection from that island end is really, is it Highland or I don't know. The connection must be quite bad. I don't know why she went help again. And we're just enjoying her presentation. I think we
And it
will
was
just
so
round it
perfect.
off. Well, let's say if
Yeah.
you want just tell us, and then we'll round it off, and then we'll come back tomorrow. We'll come back another time with Dr. Woman.
Yeah. Okay. We all need to take action. Nigerians, take action. That's just it. If you take action and I take action, then we'll effect change. And if you see something, please say something. If you see someone maltreating a child and you say, "Oh, if I talk now, she's my good neighbor, she will no longer be talking to me again," then you are a bad person too. You also maltreated that child, because if you had spoken up, maybe help would have come to that child. So if you see something, please say something. It is a way of taking action too. And if you want to be part of what we are doing, please, on our wall, we will put it up again, where we'll tell you how you can donate to ATP. We normally put up that banner every month. So
So it
check
will
our
go up
wall.
today.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
thank you. Check our wall. You will see the account number there. And there's a form for donors too. So when you donate, please fill our form so that we can interact with you. We want to know you. We want to appreciate what you have done for ATP. So please follow us on our wall. Credit our account if you want to be part of this change, and we will reach you. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, I hope I got our account number correctly. Okay, but that is the account number on the flyer there. I think it is. You can just support ATP, and then you will be very excited to to have you support us. I don't know whether we have any of our program. No, I don't have anything to share with us right now.
Yes,
Okay,
correct.
so
Correct, ma'am.
oh yeah. Oh my goodness. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us, and you are all welcome to be part of our ATP. Like we said, anything you can do to support us is welcome. And if you go on our website, all this information are there. If you go to our app, you download the app. You can also have that. Link for you to donate and all that. Okay, unfortunately, we won't be able to have Dr. Woma again, even though she's around, but I think our time has gone. So, thank you so much. Happy anniversary, Nigeria. And I look forward to all those statistics. I look forward to things being better in
Yes.
2021 when we celebrate our 61st
Yeah, maybe
anniversary.
we can
But we'll
just
not,
post it on the wall. The
yeah, we
statistic that Dr. Woma
Yeah,
would have
yeah.
given us,
We
we
no,
can
we
just
will
put it
come
on
back.
the.
We will do it. We will still do another ATP live on it. We are here always. We
Okay,
can do it. If Dr. Woma is available tomorrow, we the two of us can just come online and do another
okay.
presentation about that. All right. So thank you everyone for joining us today, and have a
Thank you. Thank
wonderful
you. Thank
Saturday.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
And celebrate
Bye.
Nigeria.
Bye.
Celebrate Nigeria 60. Bye.
Happy birthday, Nigeria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really wish we have the national anthem
Bye.
video, but I don't have it here to play. All right, take care. Bye.
Bye.
This program has
Bye,
been brought to
everyone.
you by ACP.